This is the Egyptian gallery, or one of the Egyptian galleries at the Fitzwilliam Museum in Cambridge, and I wanted to start off here because this is where the project started. One particular object that's been on display for the last 20 or 30 years actually inspired the Afro comb project. The comb dates to around 5,000 or 5,500 years ago, and it's very typical of the type of combs that we see from early Egypt. The teeth are very long. They have quite wide gaps in between, and as you can see from the comb, one of them is actually broken, probably because it was used. At the top of the comb, it's quite interesting because I suppose in some respects it's a parallel to the black fist that you see on a lot of modern Afro combs. At the top of the comb, it's quite interesting because I suppose in some respects it's a parallel to the black fist that you see on a lot of modern Afro combs. At the top of the comb, it's quite interesting because I suppose in some respects it's a parallel to the black fist that you see on a lot of modern Afro combs. We see an ancient symbol. It seems to represent bull's horns, and this particular symbol was quite common in early Egypt, and it represents fertility and also strength. It's a very masculine symbol. What's interesting about it is that there is, in other African cultures, and most notably in Ghana, a history of using the hair comb to symbolise more than simply a functional thing. In Ghana, on textile fabrics, the Afro comb appears as a symbol of fertility and beauty, and it's possible that the ancient people used hair combs in the same way, particularly when they were buried, because these objects will protect them and serve them in the afterlife.
Dr. Ashton, so would you, as an Egyptologist, consider ancient Egypt a part of Black history?
Yeah, absolutely, I would. I don't think there's any question at all. All we have to do is look at the depictions of the ancient people, and I think again we come back to this: can we or can't we use the modern racialized term of black? And absolutely, it's okay for people to use that. To remember which way the Nile flows, it does not flow from north to the south. So the natural way that people are going to be moving up the Nile is from the south heading north. And I think just going back to this over focus on the Mediterranean coast, that's not actually the way that the Nile flows. And given that we know there's a connection with the south, we need to be thinking very carefully about what would naturally happen, which way would people naturally go when they're actually traveling.
Right.
If you took an ancient Egyptian and put him or her into Alabama in 1954, they would have had to sit at the back of the bus. So if you're asking, were the ancient Egyptians black? My answer is yes.